Did you know that our bodies are about 70% water? Vital organs like the kidneys, brain, and heart can't operate properly without a certain minimum of water and salt. Dehydration is caused by a loss of water and important blood salts like potassium and sodium.
Well, Dr. Cecil Graham from Arizona Pain Centers joins us today to talk about dehydration and what effects it has on the body. Thanks for being here, doctor.
It's good to be here.
This is, you know, dehydration we hear about, of course, living in southern Arizona all the time. But to associate that with pain, I think a lot of people wouldn't realize, wouldn't put that together.
Well, yeah, we're very in tune to it. You know, obviously you hear that, and I have 5 children, so the first thing when they come in with a headache, what do? You here, drink water, sit down, drink water. It's always the #1 cause. So it leads to so many different things.
Let's talk about what is like the medical definition of like dehydration, because I think we all have our own little interpretations. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm so dehydrated, but are we really dehydrated?
Right.
Well, you know, we brought a couple props, and here's a simple thing: a grape and a raisin.
Okay.
You take the water out, and it shrivels up. Your entire body, your brain cells, all of the cells in your body are all 70% fluid. They're water. So and they function, it's like each one has its own engine, so to speak. So if it's hydrated, everything functions well. As the fluid content goes down and things get congested, you have byproducts that from the burning of the fuel that build up in the tissues. You hear people when they exercise and they get lactic acid and you get muscle burn, for instance. Well, you have to clean that up. And what happens is it has to be transported away. Your different waste products from the various cells and metabolism, everything that goes on in your body has to be cleaned up, and then it has to be replenished. And your blood is actually what takes it, and you know, and the oxygen is like the gasoline of the cell. Okay. Well, you have to get oxygen to it, but you have to get the carbon dioxide away, and that's all based on it's a function of hydration. It's easier or it's harder.
And what symptoms should we look for that actually will tell us, yes, you are actually dehydrated?
Well, first and foremost, a headache is your #1 sign. But as far as different aches and pains that you have, it's not necessarily that dehydration is going to be the underlying cause of so many different things, but it's going to be a contributory. It's going to be a component of it. So if you deal with the hydrational factor in your body, as far as making sure that you're well hydrated, everyone has heard, oh, you need to drink, you know, 8 glasses of water every day. It's so important. You know, everything in your body, the brain, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, everything works to keep the brain functioning appropriately. So, and that is all based on water. So you have these checks and balances in your system that says, okay, I'm low on water, so I want to take in more. Your thirst center, you're thirsty. Your kidneys will reabsorb more water. So if you notice, one good thing is when you go to the bathroom, you know, if your urine is clear or very minimally light yellow, your hydrational status usually is pretty good. The more concentrated, darker color it is, then your body is pulling back. That's a sign that your body needs more fluid, because your body's retaining and not putting as much in the urine. So it's trying its best to get your hydrational status where it needs to be. So that's always kind of a gauge, so to speak.
And you've mentioned a headache a couple times. I seem to get headaches a lot, but I feel like I'm really religious in drinking 8 glasses of water a day. So what is it about headache and dehydration that kind of make them go hand in hand?
Well, it is a fluctuation of fluid volume in the cerebral cells, as far as specifically headache. But there are a lot of different types of headaches, of course. I mean, migraine headaches are vascular in origin. That's what tricks it. That's what gets the snowball rolling down the hill, so to speak. But you have tension headaches, where the musculature in the back of the neck, you know, will constrict, and then causes the headache that originates going up the back of the neck, or a post-traumatic, where patients will have an old whiplash type injury. So a headache itself can be a sign of dehydration, but there's a lot of other causes of headaches also.
Okay.
But like people hear chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia and things like that, there's a lot of studies now that show one of the underlying things is a patient chronically dehydrated. They're always dehydrated. So they get this chronic issue going on. You know, everything kind of gets backed up, the byproducts, you know, the waste products throughout your system get tied up, and the brain just doesn't function correctly. It's a simple fix, you know, and we're talking about fluid like water,
right?
Not carbonated fluids, not caffeinated, not carbonated. Water is the main thing. But
to truly become rehydrated, is it beyond water? I mean, at the top of the segment we mentioned lowered potassium and sodium. Do we have to, if we're severely dehydrated, do we have to do more than water to resupplement?
Obviously, everyone should take a good multivitamin every day, and your diet comes into play. And that's where it's amazing when you look at the physiology of the body and how it all works. You know, your kidneys have such a fine mechanism at assessing where you're at, your electrolytes. And then when you talk about the potassium and the sodium and all that, for instance, your potassium, if it gets low, everyone's seen a picture of an EKG, the different squiggly lines. Well, the one line, the little first blip, is called the P wave. Well, that's triggered by your potassium levels. And if that doesn't happen, then the spark plug of the heart doesn't work, and all of a sudden your heart stops. You know, so your potassium is extremely important. But your kidneys will adjust, and it assesses, okay, yeah, I'm high on potassium, so I can spill a little more, pee a little more out, or I need to retain more. So you know, your nutrition and everything comes involved with it, and your kidneys are very good. As long as you don't have bad kidney function, then your kidneys are amazing at doing it. So all you really need to do is have a good diet, take a good multivitamin, and get your hydration in every day.
Great.
Let's end with that. Hydrate, 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 right, Doctor?
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And to learn more about AZ Pain Centers by visiting their Tucson location on Orange Grove and La Cholla Boulevard. Or you can call them at 742-7246 or go online to azpaincenters.com. Again, that number is 742-7246 and azpaincenters.com.
And there's more on the Morning Blend right after this.